guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are new, thank you so much for stopping by. This is another Love Island review. To be honest, y'all, I did not review episode 30 and I don't feel bad about not doing so. Honestly speaking, I didn't feel like it, but I am going to talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to talk about this episode. So it's kind of going to be like a combination today. So go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, and if you are new, check out the rest of the content, and if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. So yeah, let's get into it. So last episode, basically, we gotta talk, y'all. We gotta talk. Hold on. Oh, we gotta talk. Okay. So the Islanders, they wake up, they're getting ready. Taylor decides that he wants to prepare a little breakfast picnic date for Clark. He has Ace setting up the picnic. He has Amaya starling Clark until they finish setting up the picnic. Now let's talk about it. First of all, Amaya is so funny, bro. I'm thinking that Amaya is finna tell Clark, like, Clark, I really suck when I put on like my eyeliner, or could you please tie my bathing suit tighter? Or like, I'm thinking that Amaya is about to tell Clark to do something that can actually star her. This girl over here asking Clark what is her favorite color, and that shit made me laugh so hard, because I'm just like, bro, Clark is looking at you like, girl, get the hell on. And so then Clark goes downstairs and she ends up finding out why Amaya was stalling her out, and it was so funny to watch. And honestly, when Clark was saying you tip the waitresses even if the service is bad, I thought that was so cute. But I'm so sorry. If the service is bad, I am not tipping, and it has to be like really bad, because I tip. Like, I'm a tipper. I'm not the type of person who don't tip. So if I don't tip you, that means you did some weird shit. But I still thought that it was very cute that she said it. Also, y'all, Clark don't like Taylor like how Taylor like Clark, and it is so funny to watch. I am so happy. I'm so happy he didn't pick Alandria. I'm so happy he picked Clark. Clark gonna give him a run for his money. I don't know if you guys remember the last season of Love Island, UK season, and if you guys have not watched it, then y'all should skip this part. But there was a Love Island UK season. Well, don't skip the part, just listen. There was a Love Island UK season where it was Mimi, and he was basically dating Mimi. He basically did what Taylor did to Clark. He did the same shit to Mimi. But I think Io did that. What, did Io do that before Casa Amor? No, Io did the same exact shit, yeah. And basically, Mimi and him went to Casa Amor, and one of the Casa Amor girls, Jess, ended up coming, and Io wanted Jess, and he ended up coupling up with Jess and leaving Mimi in the dust. And it was, y'all gotta go watch the season, because Mimi was acting very crazy too. She was pissing me off, because she's kind of doing what Alandria was doing, like keep trying to go back to Io. They even sent a new guy in there for her, and she was still low-key trying to go back to Io. But guys, after the season was over, Jess left his ass. Like, when I say she left him, she left him. And Io was so strung out and sad, and he was making posts on socials talking about she lied. She said that she was just trying to take a break to focus on herself. This girl popped out with a new man, y'all, and everybody was laughing at Io. Only bad thing that I would say about the situation is that Mimi never left Io alone. She claims that they don't talk, but at events we be seeing them together. So that's the only bad part that I would say. I feel like Io never really got his full karma, because he was always able to jump back to Mimi. It was so good to see Jess leave Io in the dust. And honestly speaking, I feel like Clark is going to leave Taylor as soon as this shit is over with. I do not think that Clark likes Taylor like that. I think she is attracted to him, but I don't think that she is attracted to his lifestyle, because whenever he was talking about, you know, being a cowboy and having animals in front of his houses, she kept reminding him, I am a city girl, and that would never change. And she did not like his interests. And it's nothing wrong with, you know, a cowboy dating a city girl, but you have to be open to two different worlds. And I don't feel like Clark is open to that. And it's so cute watching Taylor be so giddy over Clark, and Clark is just like in her feminine energy, and she's just like receiving everything. Honestly, I really like Clark's energy. Like, she really gives like very calm vibe. I love her energy, and you can tell that that's her energy. You can tell when somebody is faking their energy, and you can tell when somebody is really like that. And I feel like Clark is really like that. Like, that's really how she acts, because she's been thrown so many different balls at her, and she just keeps catching it and putting them to the side, catching it and putting them to the side. Like, she has not cracked at all. I'm sorry. I fear that I love Clark's personality. I'm sorry. Talk about Sierra leaving. I am going to be completely honest with you guys. I did not know that chinky was a slur word until I think I said it in my, I don't know if I was telling a story one day and I was like, yeah, the person had chinky. I don't remember what I was saying, but one of my followers messaged me and was like, that's a slur. And I was like, oh. Thank God I ain't famous. Because I had no idea that that was a slur, but I never said it again. And honestly speaking, I don't think that Sierra thought that she was using it in a slur manner. I think that Sierra was just so focused on her Botox and her eyes and shit. And she said it, and there have even been messages of somebody DMing her and telling her like it was a slur. And she was like, well, thankfully I didn't use it like that. She definitely should have been like, I'm so sorry, I did not know that was a slur. Instead of saying, thankfully I didn't use it like that. Because at the end of the day, whether you know or not, like once somebody corrects you, you have to take into account that you said a slur. So I do not think that Sierra purposely was trying to say a slur, but nonetheless she did. And like I said, this season with Love Island has definitely been ruined because Love Island has been listening to all the demands of all the cast members and stuff like that. It's gotten to the point where people are digging into people's past. People are trying to look for things to cancel people so people can get sent home. Recently, they have been coming out saying that Huda was saying the N-word. People are slowing the videos down to see if she said it. Like, it's just, the cancel culture of this season is crazy. And you guys already know how I've been feeling about Sierra. You guys know I do not like Sierra at all. But I just honestly felt bad for her in that moment. I'm gonna be real. I felt bad. I was like, dang, like, she's about to go home and her world is about to be flipped upside down. She's about to come home and realize that we know that she was practicing witchcraft. She is about to come home and realize that we do not like her and Nick together, and that a lot of people like Nick and Alandria together, even his people. She is about to come home and see how hated she is. She is about to come home and see how her friends turned their back against her. As soon as the kitchen got hot, they stepped the hell out and even denounced their friendship. She is about to be under a severe mental health. And we thought that last season was bad with Andrea when everybody was attacking Andrea. Nah, Sierra's shit has been the worst shit. Like her life has been flipped upside down. And I have seen a lot of people who practice witchcraft say that they know for a given fact that Sierra has definitely dibbled and dabbled in it. I have seen old videos surface that says that Sierra is she says she's very spiritual and she practices rituals and stuff like that. She's literally said that out of her mouth. If you guys look at her necklace, she has a certain type of necklace that I don't want to go into great detail because I really don't know what that necklace resembles, but I noticed that a lot of people who wear that necklace, that green necklace that Sierra had, they definitely are very spiritual. Honestly, Sierra looks like a bad case of a spell that backfired, honestly speaking. A lot of the times, if you are not like integrated into that type of practice, like if you were not born, if your ancestors weren't born in that type of practice and you just pick up that type of practice just to pick up on it, you have to be careful because those type of practices come with a price. They come with a big price. They come with a big deal. And I know some people might be like, we don't have no proof that she did that, but just the simple fact that she's already admitted that she does rituals, it won't be too far-fetched. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you practice those type of things. And I'm not condemning her because there have been times where I've thought of like, you know, doing some like love spells. I ain't gonna lie, because I was trying to hold a nigga down and he didn't want to be held, you know. So I'm just being completely authentic. And you know, honestly speaking, I wasn't thinking anything was like bad with what I was doing until I got really educated and I started watching videos on spells backfiring. And honestly speaking, and then I started seeing how like if you call yourself a Christian, that is not of God. I was just like, damn. And honestly, all those spells come with a price. Like she probably been, first of all, Sierra's been trying to get on Love Island for years. She has friends that are on Love Island. She had a Love Island party type of theme for one of her birthdays. She's probably been trying to get on that show for years so she can gain momentum in her influencer career and stuff like that. And it's crazy because the thing with those type of spells is that you're going to get what you want, but it's going to be at a cost that you don't like. And when you really look at it, all eyes are on her. Like this girl was on the news. Like if you search up her name, people was reporting it on the news. Like she got exactly what she wanted, but she got it in the most nastiest way possible. You know what I mean? So you have to be careful practicing those type of things. And you guys already know, if you've been watching my Love Island reviews, I told you my spirit. I never said that about any other islander. When it came to Alandria, she was just getting on my nerves. When it came to Shelly, she just couldn't take accountability. When it came to Huda, she's just a control freak with a splash of BPD. But whenever I talked about Sierra, I always said my spirit. I always said that, y'all. I always say my spirit does not sit right with this girl. And for those of y'all who are new to my channel, I am very, like, my spirit of discernment is heightened. Like, when I say on a whole nother level, my spirit of discernment is heightened. And every time she came on my screen, I always felt an eerie feeling about her. I always felt a dark energy. And she got kicked off. And I was actually very proud that Love Island kicked her off. Not just because of the slur, but because she needed to go home. You cannot come into these type of things trying to control the whole atmosphere. Guys, some people might say that these past 2 episodes were boring, but a lot of the people that are thinking that these past 2 episodes are boring are 9 times out of 10 a lot of the new watchers. These last 2 episodes felt like what Love Island is. It felt like refreshing. Don't get me wrong, it was a little dry. This is what Love Island is. Like, we watch the original viewers of Love Island, not the new ones who got caught on to last season and is just watching just to watch. The original viewers of Love Island watch Love Island to see people form connections and love with each other while still being able to coexist as roommates inside the house and have fun and have different challenges and laugh and play with each other until everyone goes home. And that's what these last episodes felt like. I was laughing at Alandria. Y'all know how I've been feeling about Alandria for weeks. I was laughing at Shelly. I thought what Shelly was doing with Ace, like, everything just felt authentic. Y'all, Nick did not care. Nick did not care about Sierra leaving. That boy cared for 2 minutes, and then he said, well, where's Alandria? That boy said, where Alandria? Where's she at? Where's she at? Bring him out. Bring him out. Like, he did not care at all. That boy did not. He was not fazed by that shit at all. And it was funny to watch because it's like, that boy does not care. But yeah, like, you know, I hope that her mental health is okay. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm just happy that she got out of there. She better not be on the internet. If I was her, I would get off the internet for months. I'm not gonna lie. So let's talk about Nick and Alandria, because a lot of people are feeling like the situation with Nick and Alandria is not right. What I have to say about the situation with Nick and Alandria is that 2 things can be true at once. Let me tell you why. What Nick is doing is what Taylor did. The only difference is that Alandria wasn't sent home for her behavior or for past stuff resurfacing. She's still in the house. Sierra's been sent home. You guys have to think about it like this. I know for a lot of my people who are my Nick and Alandria fans, it's cute. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know how I feel about them. I told y'all several times. I think that they are very cute together. I really do. But the problem that I have is 2 things. Number 1, Nick is very lustful. And number 2, I personally feel like Nick should have went and talked to Alandria from the beginning, because I feel like it's so weird for you to be constantly having sex with Sierra over and over again, for you to tell Sierra that you want to close things off with her, and then for her to get kicked off the show, and literally you get sad for a 2-minute, 3-minute time span, and then you just start talking to Alandria and you start showing a different type of energy that we don't see you try with show with Sierra, and you completely forget the fact that Sierra is there, and now you and Alandria are trying to see if y'all have a connection and stuff like that. I think it's not fair. And if we are going to give Taylor, mad at Taylor, trying to get Taylor and Clark sent home, we need to feel the same way about Nick and Alandria, because the only difference between the 2 is that Taylor was more bold with his decision, and he did not care. Like, once he found what he wanted, he didn't care. But Nick, he was a little bit like, you know, he was a little like, he treaded carefully with it. And also Alandria, she was being so loyal to Sierra and stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like once Alandria seen that Sierra stood behind Taylor, and then Sierra got sent home, Alandria did not care. She was like, baby, I'm gonna talk to him. I don't care. She said it in this episode. She's gonna be selfish. Like, she's learned to be selfish. And honestly speaking, I love that for Alandria, because I feel like Alandria has spent this entire season trying to cater to the needs of Taylor, to the point where it has almost got her sent home, and it actually made a lot of people mad at her and wanted her to go home, me included. But I'm all for the Nick and Alandria relationship, but I just don't like the way it's I don't like the expense. I would have liked it more had they authentically formed their relationship without Sierra being in the mix. Like, they saw each other when they first came in the house and they decided to embark on their journey together. I feel like now it's too late. It just feels a little forced. I'm not saying it's forced with their vibe. I do think their vibe is genuine, but I think it's forced with the circumstances that we are in, and I don't think it's fair to Sierra. And honey, if I was Sierra's parents, I would be hiding all the remotes inside the house. I would not let Sierra watch the rest of the show, because her mental health is probably in the trenches. And as much as I don't like Sierra, she is still a human being, and I would not wish that on anybody of what she's going through right now. It's a mess. Like, it's a mess. And Nick's mom is happy as hell, y'all. I don't know if you guys been following Nick's people. They are so happy that they are finally together, y'all. Like, it's a mess. Like, when I say it's a mess, y'all. Then Amaya ends up choosing Byron, and I'm so happy she chose Byron. Zach is fake as hell, y'all. He over here talking about that he's always been for her and this and that, and I was so happy that she saw right through him. And like I said, my Amaya Papaya is very smart, and people always try to doubt her. She knew what he was doing, and she shut that shit down. Next episode ends with them going to bed. Y'all let me know. I don't know if Iris and Pepe had sex. I don't know if they did, but if y'all let me know, do y'all think they had sex or not? And my thing is, if they had sex, then that's why I said, when I told my last review, I said, y'all let me know how y'all feel about the whole Iris and Pepe situation. I kept quiet because I just kind of was looking like, it's looking a little weird. Because Iris, you literally was sitting there pounding your face, and all of a sudden you're deep inside Pepe's face. Like, I'm confused. And also, we find out that Huda and Chris had sex. But before we found that out, they got woken up with babies crying and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my God, this feels so nostalgic, like old Love Island UK vibes all over again. They find out that they have to take care of a baby. So they're there trying to take care of the baby and stuff like that. And it was cute. This episode was very refreshing. Like I said, people keep saying the episode was boring. I don't think the episode was boring. I think it was a refreshing episode. Like, not a lot of drama, even though Huda got into it with Chris, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Overall, the episode was very refreshing. I don't know if Sierra's energy or what was sitting in that villa, but the energy is so different, y'all. It's like night and day. The Islanders are getting along with each other. Everybody is laughing and playing around with each other. Like, the vibes are just mad different now. Now let's talk about Huda and Chris. So Huda ends up getting mad at Chris because Chris is running around with the baby, and she feels like he's not being protective of the baby's head or whatnot. Honestly, Huda, like, I understand that you are a mom, but I just feel like every single time Huda has sex with a guy, she starts acting a nut job. It's like clockwork. And my thing is this: you cracking 2 men in this villa in less than a month is crazy work on national television. You should have learned your lesson with Jeremiah. You and Jeremiah becoming intimate too fast was the reason, and coupled up with Ace and everybody else. But the main reason why you and Jeremiah was like very toxic, and it seemed like y'all couldn't leave each other alone to the point where America had to break y'all up, is because you guys became intimate too fast. Why would you then go sleep with Chris that quickly? Why couldn't you wait for you and Chris to get off the show? You did not need to go and sleep with Chris that quickly. And now it's like every time Huda sleeps around, it's like she just becomes very controlling and very like, just, I don't know, like she just becomes very tense, and she becomes very freaked out. And I feel like Huda feels that a lot of the guys she sleep with don't stay, so she starts becoming very like self-sabotaging and sabotaging everything. She started nitpicking at everything that Chris was doing, and honestly, I was looking at her like, Huda, that's not your baby that you raised in your stomach for 9 months. That is a plastic doll, like, and I know you are a mom, and I know she said that it was triggering to her, but girl, it's a plastic doll. Like, and if it's really triggering to you, you can literally be like, Chris, like, you're not supposed to be playing with the baby like that. Like, make jokes. But bro, like, this is not a real thing. Like, this is not a real thing, and not everything needs to be serious. And then she was talking about how he didn't put the mat up, but she had to ask him to do it, and this and that. Not everything needs to be accounted for. Granted, Chris should have been the gentleman and put the mat up. But you don't have to account for everything. You know what I mean? If you came out of your mouth and said, hey, Chris, can you put the mat up? And Chris went to go put the mat up. Then at that point in time, you should know that Chris did not purposely do it. Now, I'm not making an excuse for Chris. He should have put the mat up. But not everything needs to be accounted for. You don't have to nitpick at everything. This is not a tight ship. You don't run a tight ship when you're dating a guy. And I had to learn that too. Like, not everything needs to be accounted for. Not everything needs to be picky. Like, you definitely have to pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean? And I feel like Huda, whenever she sleeps around with guys, every battle becomes hers. And it's so weird to watch. So then, Ace and Shelly, they end up going to the fire pit, and Shelly ends up setting up a little s'mores date for him, and I felt like that was so romantic and so cute of Shelly. I really like it, and I like the fact that Shelly is beginning to embrace Ace more. I like the fact that Shelly's begin to reciprocate energy towards Ace more, because y'all already know how I feel about Ace, but y'all cannot deny his feelings for Shelly. He really likes him some Shelly. He don't play about his Shelly. Shelly showed him, baby, I don't play about you either. And I thought that it was very cute. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. But it seemed like every time Nick and Olandria start talking, Nick start looking better on my screen. Nick even be dressing like I don't know how to describe it, but Nick even dresses better every time he's dealing with Olandria. Y'all, Nick's outfit was cute tonight. Like, it was something calm, but it was still a very cute fit. Like, it gave like street vibe, streetwear type vibes. Y'all gotta understand, these people are in a house. Like, these people are not really like going nowhere. They are in a house. They ain't going to the club after they film these scenes. You know what I mean? But the outfit kind of gave like calm vibes. And then the way he did his hair, like, he just looked so handsome tonight. And I was like, I don't know if Alandria got that little spark to him, because every single time he deals with Alandria, he just looks so much better. And I was just like, Nick was looking extra good tonight, y'all. And honestly, I feel like their vibes are there. Like, their vibes are genuine. It's there. Like I said before, I just think the way they went about the situation is not right. And I would not want them to win. Y'all already know who I want to win. Y'all already know who my client is. And then on top of that, my client got a chance to go to the Hideaway. And I'm very happy to see that. I'm very, very happy to see her pop, lock, and drop it. Pow, lock, and drop it. Maya Papaya decided that she was going. They decided. I was so happy that they let her have it. I wouldn't have wanted Shelly and Ace to go to the Hideaway. I wouldn't have wanted Huda and Chris to go to the Hideaway. They've already been doing their own hideaway in the rooms. And with Iris and Pepe, it just looks so unauthentic. And I don't know if you guys have seen, TJ has made a post about watching that last episode with them, and he was at the gym walking on the treadmill, and his caption said, I don't need a pre-workout, I just watched the last episode. So it's just, that's why I said I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but I find it very weird that Iris and Pepe have finally had this epiphany for each other. I find it very icky and weird, because the thing is, with Olandria and Nick, it's always been there. You know what I mean? It's always been there, but there's always been factors and barriers that have stopped them from getting to each other. Since when did Iris and Pepe like each other? Like, I just find it very weird. I'm sorry, I'm not buying into that propaganda. So yeah, and the only people that I would have liked to go into that hideaway would have been Amaya and Brian. And I was so happy, and it was so cute to watch the girls get Amaya ready. That's why I said, like, people keep saying this episode was boring. No. If you feel like this episode was boring, you are a new watcher. If you are an OG UK Love Island watcher, this episode felt like how Love Island feels. When they're in the room getting the girl ready, putting on the lingerie, fixing her hair, when all the girls are helping her get ready. It just felt so nostalgic. And that's why I said Sierra's energy was dark in that villa, because this episode felt so refreshing and just very like kitty-like. If you guys are looking for drama for the rest of this season, they're not going to give it to us. I feel like the producers are ready to just close this season out. This has been one of the worst seasons ever. The drama has been at an all-time high. I honestly feel like the fans have ruined this season, you know, trying to find ways to cancel people, picking people apart, the bullying, the going back and forth. People have lost friendships over who vibes with who likes who more. People have gotten into fights and arguments about which characters is this. People have been called names because they support certain characters but they don't support the other ones. People have been this season is a mess, okay? And I feel like Love Island, they are not dwindling into the propaganda of drama anymore. That's why we are not getting a movie night. We are not getting a tweet day. We're not getting nothing. Everybody is just about to be regular schedule. They just about to do, you know, little cute shit here and there. Let them recouple, send a couple home, send some people to the Hideaway, send some people on cute little dates towards the final. Give whoever wins the 100K and let everybody go about their business. The producers are tired this year. We gave them a run for their money. We made them actually work. We gave them a run for every single penny that they are going to get this year. Everybody that works at Love Island, bitch, even down to the narrator. We gave everybody a run for their money this year, and I feel like they are over it. And honestly speaking, I am over it too. Love you guys so much. Y'all let me know y'all's opinions. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this season as a whole. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this season, because it's over. This is the last week. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this season as a whole. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about Huda, Amaya, everybody. Y'all let me know. And I love you guys so much. I am going to see you guys in the next review. Bye, y'all.